Hello guys, this is a review of an Indiana Jones Figma figure. I got this last week from Big Bad Toy Store. It's a Japanese release, so you're not gonna find this at Toys R Us. It is quite cool. The minute I learned they were gonna release a 6-inch Indiana Jones figures, I jumped at the opportunity. I pre-ordered it. The packaging, it's pretty nice. It's got some nice graphics, like archaeological design kind of thing, and the box is similar to what we're seeing from Hasbro with the Black Series and the Infinite Series Marvel Legends. It's got a window here where you can see Indy and some of the accessories that it comes with. On the side there's a picture of Indy, and in the back you can see it in sort of action poses. So I'm gonna get this out of the packaging and we're gonna take a look at it. So we're back, and the first thing I wanted to mention is that there is quite a few accessories with this figure, and they come all neatly packaged in the box. To start, there's 4 sets of hands in addition to the one pair of hands that come with the figure, and there is a display stand that plugs in the back. There is a hole here, if you can see it, and you also get a Figma Ziploc bag to put all these away, because they're very small and you can lose them easily, I'm sure. So the first accessory is the idol from Raiders of the Lost Ark, from the opening sequence. It's actually very nice. It's got a lot of detail. The hair is sculpted, the teeth, very nice. The second is one of the stones from Temple of Doom. I believe they're called Shankara stones. I'm not quite sure about that. And he also comes with the Holy Grail from the Last Crusade. The paint is very nice, the wash. It looks a lot like the prop from the picture, at least how I remembered it. There is an extra set of eyes. We'll talk about that later. And there is a gun. It has a couple of paint applications here and here, but other than that, is molded in black plastic. And there are 2 whips. There is this folded one, which is actually pretty rigid plastic, and it clips on the belt. I'll show you that later. And there is this other posable whip. You can actually move, there are sort of joints, if you will, and you can move them, rotate them, and then you can get different configurations. To attach the whip, there is a clip here on the belt, and it's actually pretty flexible. So you can easily attach this right here. And if you replace the hands, if you notice, I have replaced the fisted hands that come in with the trigger hand and this other one to hold the whip. What you have to do for the whip is you have to take this part out and then slide the whip in the hand like that, and you reassemble it, and that's how he holds it. For the gun, the hand is actually perfect for this. It's unbelievable how precise they went. As you can see, the finger is actually on the trigger, as it should be. Very nice. So on to the figure. This is actually very nice. I like it a lot. It feels very cool. The paint detail is very cool. You see the wash on the jacket to give that, feeling of leather. And even the pants have a nice texture to them. Paint texture, I should say. The jacket seems to be removable, but I'm not going to do that now. The holster, it's actually just a solid piece. Unfortunately, it doesn't open, it doesn't work with the gun. And he also has a bag here on the side. You can move it a little bit, but it's glued to the shirt. And he comes with a hat, nicely painted hat. as well. There has been, and I have read about it, a sort of criticism with the face. I think the sculpt is dead on, but what people have argued is that the wash, the paint job on the face, makes him look very old. And I guess a little bit. I guess you could say that he looks a little aged. So I would assume this Indy is not necessarily from any of the films, but sort of in between The Last Crusade and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Somewhere in there. As far as the articulation, it's actually pretty good. He has a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders. The elbow bends pretty far. The wrist can go in and out and also rotates, and the hands are swappable, of course. Very easy to replace them. He has a joint in the diaphragm here. Ball-jointed legs with good range. This one is hindered a little bit by the gun holster, but not too much. Nice articulation in the leg, in the knee, and if you notice here in the back, it's sculpted like this so that you can go even further with the leg. I don't know if that bothers some people, but looks a little weird because this is very shiny compared to the rest of the figure. And toe articulation, foot articulation, it's a little stiff, but does the job. Let's talk about the feature of replacing the eyes. This hat is removable, but you can't really display it without the hat because look at that, it's like an android. So you remove the hat and you pull the head apart, and then you have Bender. Actually no, but now you can change the eyes. What I've heard is that the difference is barely noticeable. So we're gonna see. So I guess they're slightly looking towards the left. I guess it's really very subtle, not a lot. But what I like about this is that it's so well done that basically you can't, if you didn't know that this was there, you would never have guessed that those eyes are a separate piece from the head. It's actually very well done. So let's talk about the size. Indy is exactly 6 inches tall to the top of the hat. So that's pretty much true 1/12 scale. He's gonna work well with Star Wars Black Series. He's gonna work well with Movie Master figures. He's a little shorter than your average Marvel Legends, and that is because Marvel Legends are usually a little over 6 inches. They're usually, 6.5, 6.75. But I think it's a good scale. It works okay. Let's see how he looks on a horse. So here is Indy on a Lord of the Rings horse. I think it's not bad. He can't reach the stirrups, but overall, I think you can pull it off. I really like this figure, I gotta admit. I think it's well worth it. It's, until Hasbro decides to do a Black Series Indy line, this is not just your only choice, but a good one. He's got decent articulation, he's got a ton of accessories, the likeness is good, the paint job is good, and he's in 1/12 scale. So let me know what you think below. Thanks for watching. Take care.